Yet again, we don't have the right glasses. We're gonna make fancy margaritas and include it as a recipe, and then we just got lazy.
As every time we decide to make drinks, we're not that good at it. We're really not that big of drinkers. In the speakeasy, it's just fun. Well, Brittany made a list of movies. So the format, what we're gonna do is Brittany talked about some of her favorite movies. Some of them I haven't seen. I'm kind of gonna read through her list. Okay.
Let's start with one. Clueless. I don't know who is Clueless though. I don't know if Clueless is supposed to be everybody in it, or is it supposed to be Brittany Murphy's character? Yeah, but first of all, being with your brother.
Stepbrother.
Maybe he's the one clueless. Paul Rudd. What happened?
How do you feel about the movie You've Got Mail?
I think it's the best movie ever.
What's it about?
It's about two cheaters who just got the internet. They happen to be both competing in the same business, but they really aren't. He works for, obviously it's supposed to be Barnes & Noble.
What?
He thinks that they act like she's competition, a teeny tiny cutesy little store around the corner, shop around the corner it's called.
It would be like Walmart competing with the deli around the corner.
The only bothersome part is that once he finds out that she's shop girl, he doesn't tell her for a while. It would be like, you put me out of business. You're basically stalking me. Then you kept a secret for a while.
Yeah.
While I was going on and on about this guy I really liked, and it was you. You fraud.
He actually
She never
can't
really
stand
says
his character.
anything like funny or nice, or I don't know why she fell in love with him. I need to see more of those email transcripts.
I think the reason that Brittany likes that movie is because she likes Tom Hanks and Dave Chappelle. She doesn't care that they're cheaters.
Yeah, he's basically.
And they're in New York City, which you love New York City.
And it's the fall.
And it's the fall.
And Christmas. It's every season.
It's every. What if You've Got Mail was filmed today? What would they call it?
You've got a DM.
She cracked that joke earlier, and I thought it was so funny.
What's next for us?
How probable is the movie Pretty Woman? I'm seeing a trend here of the 90s, first and foremost. All the relationships in all three of these movies
Rich.
are like, no,
Oh.
cheaters, perverts, family members, and hookers. Who could go wrong with Julia Roberts?
I know. Well, she's like a first-time hooker.
I don't think I've ever really seen the movie.
You haven't?
No.
Oh. What's his name? Gene. No, it's not Gene. What's his name? Well, he's got that like bee swollen face.
He's got the bee swollen face.
Yeah.
Richard Gere.
Yeah, that's the one.
Could you imagine a movie coming out today about prostitute hooks up with a businessman?
Yeah, but then he like wants her to stay with him. You're supposed to think that's romantic.
Right. I'm just gonna keep paying for you.
Yeah.
It's perverted.
Take baths in my bath and talk like a child. She acts like a child. He must like that. And then George
He's a
Costanza's
pervert,
in it, and he's a
Oh,
pervert. And then
George
Richard
Costanza.
Gere is like, stop being a pervert to my hooker.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what's next?
One of my movies that I loved and saw 25,000 times. Ocean's 11 came out in 1999.
What's
They're
it
not
about?
all that.
I don't really know what it's about, to be honest.
You don't? Have you ever seen it?
I think I did.
It has all of the hunkiest hunks in Hollywood, and also Julia Roberts,
They-
Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Don Cheadle. What's wrong with Don Cheadle?
Nothing. I was clearing my throat.
It's a massive heist to get back at Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
The Ring?
What's funny about
Already
The Ring
scared?
is how did someone pitch that movie and everybody was on board with it? They're like, there's a... So first of all, what time period? It doesn't make any sense. So like the movie is set in the early 2000s, and then the photos of all like this woman are set in like 1870. Her hair and her farmhouse.
But
Then-
the
but the-
husband's still alive and doesn't
But the
look any
husband's
older.
still, and then the girl, like, looks like she was little in the 80s. Like, I don't understand.
Thinking that actually the reason that it looked so old, the pictures, is because they were on like kind of a secluded island.
Oh, so it was like the village.
Yeah.
And then, so when back to the pitching of the story,
Yeah.
they're like, so there's this VHS tape
That kills you.
that kills you, but it doesn't kill you right away. It's in 7 days, but it's only after you get a phone call
Right after you watch it.
where they say 7 days.
I'm blown away. Film it. Take as much money as you need.
Make the whole thing blue. It's super
Blue.
artsy aesthetic. Yeah, the whole thing's blue. Like it's like that 90s like
Blue
art
pastels.
school like filtered
Blue
look.
pastels.
What's the video gonna look like? And they're like, well, there's a woman brushing her hair.
Really weird.
There's horses dead. There's a lighthouse. There's a girl in a well. And I was like, yes.
Film it. And the guy in the corner, when they're doing this pitching thing, says, but wait, I just want there to be one scene where, this would be so cool, if the girl who's a ghost climbs out of a TV
Yeah, and then
and
the whole
then
floor is
crawls
wet.
really creepy. That would be a really good scene. Let's film it.
Yeah. And then the only way to not die is to make a copy, but not a copy of a copy.
Well, yeah, wait a second. The girl,
She's got
before
some,
she
like,
was
cool-
killed, was already demented by demons.
Who filmed this movie?
We're done
Like
with that movie.
the movie in the movie.
Oh, now this is a real winner here.
What?
The Truman Show.
Oh, that's haunted me.
Really?
But the thing about the Truman Show is how did they build that whole town? And all the people in the production had to be like working since whenever they would have been, if they started when they were even 20, by the time he was 40, they would be retiring.
Yeah, they wrote people in and out.
They spent their whole, the people acting in it spent their whole lives on this fake set. How did they make it that far? What if he was like, I want to go to China? Or is that how he found out?
You know what's even more messed up? What would he do once he got into the real world? His
Yeah.
life would be doomed.
Doomed. One thing about 10 Things I Hate About You is the same as She's All That, which it's like there's a bet involved. And then at the end they're like, I was just a stupid bet. And they're like, wait, no, you were a bet. And then you became more than that. Although I do want to get my money.
There was another movie about a bet that was like as older people, and it had two of my favorite actors and actresses in it, Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah.
It's a bet.
How to Lose a Guy.
How
in
to
10
Lose a Guy
Days.
in 10 days? Is that older? I just have to tell Brittany a secret really quick, and I want you guys to hear it. So what's the next movie gonna be?
What?
Casper. Brittany always, every Halloween, ends up telling me every year around Halloween, I picked a really scary movie. It's so terrifying, and she puts a little blankie up, and she has a little pee-pee right there, and then I go, I'm getting
That's her
really
dog.
frightened. I go and I sit down on the couch. She says, are you ready? It's really scary. And she has played this freaking Casper.
That is scary. Have you met his uncles? They're terrifying.
Yeah,
this guy takes his daughter all over the country. She can't make any friends.
But the ghosts look like weird, fluffy clouds. But then once they see his wife as a ghost,
Yeah.
at the end, she looks perfectly normal.
Yeah, what the heck's that about?
That was
What's
you
that?
spitting and hitting me on the side of the head. Like the Seinfeld episode of Spitgate. There was 2 spitters. And Kramer gets hit right in the face. He's like,
Casper gives me the same vibe as Hocus Pocus, like outside and kids are screaming outside of school. Ah! And then they're riding their bikes and the music's like not a song.
Edward Scissorhands.
How did he survive up there? He didn't need food.
And what did he have
He must
underneath
have.
of those?
That's it.
Well, I got an idea. Instead of making him like amazing.
He didn't
and everything.
finish it because he died.
Put knives on his hands.
He died, the inventor. Okay, what's next? Titanic.
Titanic.
I want to say that when I was younger, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so romantic. You know? And then later, I was thinking, this is a one-night stand. Like, they would never have seen each other after. They didn't fall in love in 3 days.
No.
Would have been a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You go that way, you go that way.
This dude died. She would have just went back to the rich guy.
But she didn't like those kinds of things.
Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor.
He didn't really seem that interested in her.
Status.
In my opinion.
It was one of those status
I
things.
don't know. This is Doubtfire.
Ugh. I always hated that movie.
What?
It was stupid.
What do you hate about it?
It's a dumb movie.
She's obviously like suffering from dementia that she didn't recognize her husband of like however many years, regardless of prosthetics. Like this lady is like pouring her heart out to this ex-husband of hers. She didn't even
That
realize.
looked just like him.
Yeah,
But the whole premise, I
just
don't know. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. Haters gonna hate. Go right ahead.
Big. Also,
Big. Freaky Friday.
They grow up
Something
overnight.
something 30.
13 going on
13
30.
going on 30.
13 going on 30 is just like Big. But, wait. Freaky Friday I want to mention because you're seeing your mom's naked body. They switch places. Like, you have to go to therapy for that.
Yeah.
Yikes. I'm sure her dad kissed her mom.
Ah.
And you couldn't be like, Dad.
Hopefully that's all they did.
So stupid. What a dumb movie. That's probably the worst of them all. Well, that was Margaritas and Movies. Thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, follow, that's the same. Turn on your notifications for us. If you don't know how to do that, figure it out.
How
YouTube
rude.
videos.
How many people have searched in YouTube?
How to search on YouTube. I know.